have a roll call now. Kathy, you want to do that?
Spinelli.
Here.
Welco.
Here.
Welco. Kennedy. Johnson.
Yep. Okay, we have a quorum. All right, I'm going to be reading some stuff here so that I don't forget it, what I'm trying to say. Okay, I am Bill Strawson. I'm a member of the Wesley Township Board. Last week I told you folks that we had a written resignation of the supervisor and the clerk, Sarah Norton. And as you all know, resignations are not final until they are approved by the town board. Because the supervisor is not here this evening, I need a motion from the board to elect a presiding officer for tonight's meeting. Do I have a motion from the board?
I'll make a motion to nominate Bill Strawson to be the presiding officer for the meeting tonight.
I need a second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Thank you. Okay, tonight the first action of business at this meeting is to acknowledge that the Township Board has received resignation letters from Joanne and Sarah. The statute requires that the Township Board accept these resignations, and I was going to go ahead and read the resignations since I pulled out the clerks first. It says, I, Sarah Norton, am resigning from the position of Township Clerk effective August 23rd due to personal reasons. Do I have a motion to accept the resignation of clerk?
Let's make a motion to accept the resignation of clerk of Sarah Martin.
Jim Spinelli. Do I have a second? Rich Welchko. Okay, that's approved.
Nope, you take the vote.
Yeah, vote.
Oh yeah, vote. All those in favor of accepting the resignation?
Roll call. Roll call.
I don't think you, if you want to do roll call, that's fine. It's important, you know?
Spinelli.
Here.
Welco.
Here.
Kennedy. Yep. Strawson.
Yes.
Okay. Roll call.
All right, now the second one is the resignation of the township supervisor. Bear with me, please. Okay, on this date, August 31st, 2019, I, Joanne Quigley, submit to the Wesley Township Board of Trustees my resignation effective August 31st, 2019. It has been my privilege and honor to serve as a township supervisor. I feel that the goals that we set were good and honest. I've done my best to move forward for the betterment of the township, but I feel that I no longer can see a way to achieve those goals. I hope only the best for all of you in the future as the trustees of Wesley Township. Thank you for the support you have given me and wish you only the best in the future. Sincerely, Joanne Quigley. Okay, I'd like a motion to accept the resignation of our supervisor, Joanne Quigley.
All right, I'll make the motion.
I need a second.
I'll make a motion to accept the resignation of Supervisor Quigley.
A second for that motion.
I second the motion.
Okay, Jim, thank you.
Roll call.
Okay, Spinelli.
Yes.
Welchko.
Yes.
Kennedy, yes. Strawson.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. There was a special meeting of the Township Board called for last Tuesday. The meeting did not occur because there was no quorum. As an individual board member, I indicated that I would like to receive letters from individuals for the positions that were going to be vacated, and I have received one to this point for supervisor, and that's from a Mr. Jim Riggs. He's from Wilmington. He lives out on 102. Mr. Riggs, it's a little off key, but we're going to do this anyway so that you people who don't know him maybe can be introduced. If you'd come up, tell us a little about yourself and why you think you'd be a good supervisor.
Well, I've been involved with many charities, as the resume there.
Yes.
I'm involved with Joliet, with over 7 different counties, with Joliet Junior College, with charities, American Cancer Society. I've raised a great deal of money for a lot of the charities. A whole list of them. I didn't put them all on there. I'm on 2 different boards now. One of them is one that determines whether Joliet gets water from Wilmington or whether it receives water from Chicago. I figured Wesley Township could use the money if there's any money coming to Wilmington, which it will be
Amen.
in the future because of easements. So I'm heavily involved with charities and I'm heavily involved with boards, and I've been for the last 30 years or more. So I've got a great deal of experience with Robert's rules, with running boards, as presidents, nonprofit presidents, which is what this is, a nonprofit organization. I've been involved with youth groups, the Boy Scouts and Navy Sea Cadets. I've owned a marina. I've owned at least 10 different businesses. Presently, I own willcounty.com. It's not owned by the county. And that we could advertise a great deal for Wesley Township throughout the whole county to bring people to the park, which is what a lot of you want, is to try to get the park used to where a lot more people will rent it, that'll pay for it, pay for the electric so it can stay on to where you can have free parking or camping when you like. So that's pretty well the ability of it, other than what the resume comes here.
Okay,
Which is a lot more involved than what I had said.
thank you. Okay, since on our agenda, and this is my fault, I did not put on there that we were going to elect replacements. We were just going to discuss about it. But there is a statute that states that we can appoint a deputy supervisor until our next regular meeting, which would be next Tuesday. And I'm open for discussion on that for the other board members. Is anybody, you want to wait? Do you want to do this now? Or what do you want to do?
What would be his duties? Can you expand on the deputy?
Yeah.
Well,
appointment?
yeah, my name is Stuart Diamond. I'm the attorney for this group. The statute deals with a situation where you've got a vacancy and basically talks about the fact that the person would be able to do the ministerial functions of the vacant office. So that's what the statute talks about. The person, if you chose somebody as the acting supervisor, that person would not get, doesn't have the right to vote at your meetings unless you made that person eventually the permanent supervisor. But if you wanted and if you chose someone as the deputy supervisor, that person would serve until you either made that person permanent or you chose somebody else. So that's up to you tonight to decide what you can do. Apparently, no one has applied for the position of clerk. Is that
Correct, but I guess I should ask before we go further with that, is there anybody in the audience that has been interested in being the supervisor that hasn't spoken up yet? Mr. McCubbin.
I'd be in our position. I've been involved with the township, everybody knows. My biggest goal would be to make it transparent, which, you know, we all know we got a problem there now. On this side of the board, or this side of the room, things need to be done the legal way, the good old boys way. And if I have the opportunity to serve, that's where I go with it. The transparency would come through modern technology, everything on the internet, everything you search, we do away with FOIA probably too. Make everything available to the public, no more problems.
And sir, as I understand, you're suggesting for the supervisor.
That's correct. That's correct.
So I get it, in light of this, we probably need to, do we need to discuss this now amongst us? And
Well, the board has a choice. First, they don't need to do anything tonight. If you wanted, you do have the ability to go, actually, the statute allows you to go into closed session if you wanted to talk to these two candidates. It's really up to you. You could also basically say that you could sort of investigate the two people that you have. Maybe they have a suggestion for a clerk. That's sort of another possibility.
hold on. First off, I do not want to go to closed session. Anything we say I believe that the township people should hear. That's my opinion.
Okay, no, that's fine. I just wanted to give you that opportunity.
Are you applying for the position of supervisor?
I am.
And you are?
I'm Sue Blaney. A little bit about me is I was the clerk for a minute, about 4 months. I learned a lot about the township code, the duties of all the different positions. I have a background in accounting and finance. I currently work for the state of Illinois. I am not into personalities. I like to think it's more about the principles and doing the right things at the right time for our township. And being that it would be just until the end of the term, which I think was like 18 months, I would throw my hat into the ring. Thank you.
Would there be anybody else interested in the supervisor position? Okay, seeing none, I'm open to the board for suggestions here. How do you want to proceed?
I'm suggesting to appoint a deputy for now.
Okay, I'll allow that. What do you need?
I'm just curious as to the designation on the deputy supervisor position. Can that be for a limited contracted term, or is it an indefinite term?
The answer to that is that
It's not stipulated in the statute.
I'll answer that. My sense is that that the deputy supervisor is in that position until a permanent person is appointed. The statute says that in fact that person doesn't get to vote.
Correct.
So they have
Unless they're an
Yeah.
appointed trustee.
Well, they actually have no voting, plus they have no voting power, so that's what it says, that they don't vote. I would think that the person remains in office until one of two things happen. Either somebody is actually appointed as the permanent person, or if 60 days go by, as I think you know, the township electors have the ability to call a meeting and to in fact appoint somebody.
Well,
So-
even if somebody is appointed 60 days after, we would have that option, correct?
No, you only have that option, you only have the option if there's a vacancy for 60 days.
He's saying if we don't appoint somebody permanent.
Oh, yes, that's absolutely,
You would have to have a permanency
Correct.
that's correct, yes, sir.
prior to 60 days.
So I guess the answer, the way to say it is that it's for a 60-day period if the electors are interested in moving forward under their rights.
So the contractual term of the deputy supervisor would be no more than 60 days.
That's correct.
Yep. I guess
If,
what's,
hold on a
I
second.
understand what we're dealing with.
As long as the electors want to act. If the electors don't take their right to call a meeting to appoint somebody, that person could remain in office for longer. But if the electors are interested in going forward, then it can't be
Well,
longer.
would that motion have to be made prior to the 60 days or any time at all?
The motion for a permanent person,
Yeah,
it would have to be made during the 60-day period.
during the 60 days.
right, basically what I want to do tonight, and I think Jim's on board with me, and I haven't talked to Kathleen or Rich on that. I want to get a temporary or deputy supervisor or whatever appointed so that we don't miss a beat. Next week is our regular meeting, so that when bills are here, we don't miss a beat on the bills. We can get things paid. That's my goal here tonight. That's my only goal here tonight. Mr. Graham?
I know you're talking about maybe appointing a deputy supervisor.
Correct.
Public Act 101-0104 that became effective on July 19 this year requires that you appoint a trustee as a temporary deputy.
I have not seen that law.
Want a copy?
Say it again.
It changes the township code. It became effective in July 19, 2019. It's a paragraph.
That's to ensure that.
Paragraph B5. Right here. Let me turn it to Mark's figures.
Yeah, let's take a look at it.
Paragraph B5.
Okay?
I only know that because we worked on getting that to the file.
Well, let me read it for everybody. If the vacancy being filled under subsection A or B is for township supervisor, a trustee shall be appointed as deputy supervisor to perform the ministerial functions of that office until the vacancy is filled under section A or B. Once the vacancy is filled under subsection A or B, the deputy supervisor's appointment is terminated. Well, thank you.
So only a trustee can be a
That was
deputy
effective
supervisor.
July 2nd, 2019.
Okay, that's fine. Well, then in that case, I don't know if the question is whether there is a board member, current board member, who would be willing to carry out that position, or whether you simply want to, let's say, wait until your next meeting and make a permanent appointment.
When is the next meeting?
Next Tuesday is our regular meeting.
Is there any danger of bills not being paid in that time?
I would think that, okay, and I'm gonna give you, I think, okay, I'm not gonna give you a for sure. I would think that the new supervisor next meeting, the following day, can meet and get the bills together. And then call, I think are we legal for the supervisor to call the trustees individually to get the bills of like the road district paid? Is that legal to do?
No, you'd have to have a special meeting or an emergency.
Then I'm open for suggestions here, folks.
And the permanent supervisor has to have a bond before they take off.
Right.
So you would have a deputy supervisor fill the next
Swearing
meeting.
in and everything else, but if we do a deputy, then I would give an opportunity to get the agendas done, and little minimum things done. If we get a deputy, if we don't, we have to address it next week. So either way, we're going to address it this week or next week.
But at the moment, based on that law, the deputy has to be from among the board members.
Right, yeah, so next week, so,
So we have one for
What
one.
do you guys want to do?
Put it on the agenda for next week to vote.
All right. We're going to put it on the agenda for next week. We will vote and appoint a supervisor.
gotcha, okay.
Will that work? We got public comment coming up, but hang tight. Now we're going to move on to supervisor, or to clerk. Is anybody from the audience back there interested in being the clerk? And your name is?
My name is Sherry Akiva. I guess I've been coming to these meetings even before this board was elected. So it's coming up probably on 3 years that I've been coming to meetings now. And I just really feel like I wanted to see a change. And the change I wanted to see is a change that's happened. And I kind of feel like if you want to see change, then you need to be part of the change. So for that reason alone, I throw my name in the hat for clerk, just to, try to be part of the solution and the healing within the county, within the township, So, by trade, I'm a dental hygienist, so I have education, I have computer training, I have phone skills, financial skills, things like that. So, I know I could do it. So, just throw my name out there if anybody's interested in that.
Put us a resume this week before the next meeting.
Sure.
Are there any other people in the audience who are interested in being the township clerk? Seeing none, I'm asking the board, do we need to wait till next week on a clerk, or can we appoint tonight since we only have one? It's not on the agenda, you're right, we can't do that.
Yeah, I think
We'll wait and do it next week. My bad. Okay, we have declared the vacancy of the township positions. We have discussed, and those two supervisors, other than Mr. Riggs, who put their name in the hat, please give me a resume this week so that we can hash that over. Okay, we've done that. Public comments. It is an open meeting. Does anybody have anything that they would like to say? Anybody?
And you have rules for public comment, right?
Yes, we do. We're going to do the 3-minute deal and 30-minute total. And anybody got any comments? Oh, I didn't see it, Connie. Go ahead.
I was asked to give this to you. It's actually a bill for Menards that they keep calling here. Joanne told me
For what?
that those are bills from Menards that have not been paid. Joanne said they screwed up the invoices. We're gonna send new ones. When Menards called today, they were told that
Okay.
nobody,
I'll put
Joanne
this-
never spoke to anybody, so
put this
those
with
need to
them.
be paid next week.
Any other, are you done, Connie, or do you have anything else?
No, I'm done.
Would anybody else have a comment for the public comment section of tonight's open meeting? Mr. Fritz?
Are we gonna change some of the clothes around, so like, currently the ex clerk has remote access for her computer at home, can we change them?
Well, basically, that's the new supervisor's gig, so I would say probably.
And the cameras.
At least unplug it.
Yeah. Anybody else? Rich?
I need to turn my resume in. Resume. Yes. And I put it in front of you. Apologize, but I don't know.
Oh, all right.
I think this time is the best time to get things squared away.
All right, then, can I do this? Since it's declaring vacancy of township official posts.
You can read it.
All right. Dated today, I, Richard Welchko Jr., resigned from my position of Wesley Township trustee as of today. Oh, no. Dated today, effective September 30th. I thank the citizens of Wesley Township for their support. Sincerely, Richard Welchko. Then I'm also going to put on the agenda for next week, Kathleen, that we would need resumes for anybody that is interested in a trustee position. And I'm thinking we can probably, if it's on the agenda, if we get resumes, we can appoint also that evening. Rich, I appreciate you serving with us on the board, and thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Yes? Well, no, girls first.
Sue Lennon, thank you, Rich, for your service, and thank you, Bill, for stepping up.
That's
and
fine.
filling in, especially like last week. I hope the board members take this opportunity to thoughtfully consider the direction of the township and do serious thought for the appointments that you're about to make. There's been a lot of issues, and hopefully those are behind us. But mostly, I just wanted to say thanks for hanging in there. Both of you guys.
Thank you. Lenny?
Again, Rich, thanks for your service. Would it be wise to go ahead and address this and accept this resignation this evening? Keep
Oh, yeah, you're right.
process again.
That's my fault.
I was gonna mention it after the.
Yeah, okay. We've read the letter of resignation from Rich Welchko. Can I have a motion to accept his resignation?
And it's effective at the end of the month.
Yeah, it's effective September 30th.
I accept Mr. Walsh's resignation as trustee effective September 30th, 2019.
Could I have a second on that motion?
I'll second it.
Roll call?
Okay, Spinelli,
Yes.
Kennedy, yes, Strawson.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So again, anybody that is interested in trustee, yes, Mr. Did you raise your hand? No, go ahead. We're still on public comments. I thought we were done. Go ahead.
Just a couple notes of interest. Form, if you contact them, whoever the supervisor is, they'll take care of your bonding stuff fairly quickly. The other thing, you don't want how many folks were elected, whether it's a partisan election or not, that they have to be filled with the same political party as far as the political.
I think, were you in?
It was not.
It is not.
I don't know.
You were independent?
Everybody.
Yeah.
And the only other thing is the clerk is going to get bills paid for that, but that's
Right, and we'll get that on Tuesday, I guess, and we'll speed the bills through. Lenny, go
There'll
ahead.
be someone here on Tuesday to swear the new clerk in.
We're gonna,
I get the library.
yeah, we'll get the library lady. They said, there's a form that you read, and then you have to have a notary public, and the library lady is a notary. I don't know her name, that's why I call her library lady.
Yeah, they got a bunch of, a bunch of meetings down there.
Yeah, we'll get somebody here. Kathleen, would you handle that?
Yes, sir.
And then Stuart's he's going to email me a copy of whatever we got to read for the swearing in.
To the statute.
Right.
I wonder whether any of the candidates for supervisor would be interested in serving just as a board member. If so, ought to let them understand that.
Would there be, before I, go ahead, Lenny.
I would rather assume the position of a trustee, time restraints, and a business owner. So I would be more than happy to step aside for the other two candidates.
That would be fine. How about just still a resume and then a letter of intent so I don't get it wrong next week? That'd be swell. Anybody else have a comment before we close out tonight? Again, I thank you all for coming, and
I'll make a motion to.
I haven't asked for it yet. Could I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Second, please.
Second.
No
Roll
gavel.
call.
For the gavel.
Yeah, I gave
Promise to be a gavel.
roll call.
Or you can do
All
a
in
voice
favor? All in
vote.
favor?
That's it.
Aye.
Aye. There you go.
Thank you, folks. See you next Tuesday night at 7, and we will have some new officers.